Hello, everybody. So we are approaching the end of World War One. In looking at the end of World War One, we have to concentrate on the United States side of President Wilson's proposed 14 points for peace and the ultimate treaty known as the Treaty of Versailles. It looks like Versailles, as us Kentuckians like to butcher it, but as a French city, it is known as the Treaty of Versailles. They meet in the Palace of Versailles in Paris, and basically, you're going to have four nations that are going to be represented, and that's it. None of the losing nations from the Central Powers were involved in these negotiations. You had the United States, you had Great Britain, you had France, and you had Italy. Those are the four nations that came together of all the nations that fought in World War One that came together to create a peace treaty. So, in class, we are going to be going through everything in here. So, again, please make sure that you are attending class. The Google Meets will be uploaded to class to help you if you can't make it. But we're going to go through each slide just to make sure you understand what is going on with each slide. Here, we're going to be looking at a cartoon analysis. So there are two questions here. We're looking at this woman back here in the back. She has a dagger in her heart and a banner that says the peace of Europe. So what is this woman in the background foreshadowing? And we'll discuss that and what that means. Obviously, what it looks like is it's the death of peace. And as World War One went into action in 1914, Europe was not in peace. Down here, you have a bunch of different guys with labels on them or tags for different countries. You can see Germany's here in the middle, and there's a bunch of finger pointing going on. So we're going to talk about why different fingers are pointed at different people and input our answers there. So that's the first piece of this digital notebook that we'll be looking at. Slide number 2 has a video link. It's a History Channel video. You can watch the video to help you answer these questions. We will answer them in class. So again, through the Google Meet, and those of you that are in class will have the opportunity to fill these points or fill in this information dealing with President Wilson's 14 points for peace, what they were, what they were based on, what the final point was, which was probably Wilson's most dear point or most important point to him, and what his vision was for what these points would create. The next piece is looking at what the Treaty of Versailles actually did. And what it did was it slapped Germany square in the face. And we're going to take a look at 4 different things and what the potential problems to those terms of the treaty or parts of the treaty were. Here, there are 3 boxes. There's a spectrum here. So people in the United States, specifically congressmen, were either part of the support group, the reservationist group, or it's kind of behind the camera here, but the irreconcilables. And we'll talk about what these descriptions mean in there, and then you will drag these to where they were on this spectrum, where it says drop or drag and drop the boxes where they fall on the spectrum. You'll have 3 of them on here, so you'll drag all 3 and where they fit. Here we'll be looking at another cartoon analysis, looking at the fate of the League of Nations as far as what it did for the United States. We will talk about this and what happens or what this cartoon is saying about the League of Nations. And then finally, the Treaty of Versailles is defeated. It is not signed by the United States. They come up with a separate peace agreement with Germany. And this is just looking at Republicans and Democrats who voted for signing it and who voted for not. And we're going to look at the percentage that voted no, and then the split in party lines and why that split was there. And that takes you through all the work for next week. We're going to do this all in class. If you have any questions, please let me know. We will also, of course, post the Google Meets, the recordings, for those of you who can't be in class. But again, if you have any questions, let us know. Thank you.